Hey, party people! I'm Jeff Stormer, and this is the Party of One podcast, an actual play RPG podcast focused on two-player role-playing experiences. On every episode of Party of One, I sit down with a different guest. We play a new, two-player tabletop role-playing game. We have a great time, and we tell a self-contained story in about 90 minutes or less. Episodes range across a huge field of genre, setting, and emotional experiences, and really every episode gets at the heart of what is beautiful and exciting about telling stories with your friends. Sometimes the stories are really just for us, as in Call It in the Ring, a game about one of my favorite things in the world, tag team professional wrestling.
Sitting on the top turnbuckle, Ledand is just completely out of it, or at least seems to be. Right up until the moment where Power Stone has just completely stopped paying attention, almost like started yelling at the crowd to really work the crowd, because that expectation is always sitting there that someone's going to yell or maybe throw some popcorn or something like that. And there's some crowd work that's going on. And during that crowd work, there's enough time for Ledand to recover. And I think, basically it's a top rope cutter that is affectionately referred to as the sliced meat.
Damn it. That's great. Sometimes our games are deathly serious, as in Our Love Will Destroy Us, a game about two vampire hunters, Caius and Lamont, trying to convince the mutual love of their life, Rick the vampire, to resist the hunger and stay with them throughout the night. As Rick lashes out with the knowledge that the people that he loves are also the people that were ordered to kill him in case he ever harms an innocent person.
If the guild has been working on this sort of thing for centuries, right? Like, you've told me that. All of this work that you do is not new. If at some point there was a way to change this, and a way for me to be better, and a way for this to not end in my death or yours or somebody else's, wouldn't someone have figured that shit out by now? You spend fucking hours doing your observations and your reports and sending fucking pigeon letters back and forth to some cathedral in Italy, and you haven't figured out how to fix it yet, so why am I supposed to believe that you'll be able to just because of us?
I do think Lamont cracks the soda and it's like, there's gotta be a better way than pigeons. I've been saying this for months. And other times, they're just beautiful little slice of life stories, as in Here We Used to Fly, a story game about two adults visiting their childhood amusement park after it has long since closed.
It's not little like LEDs in an ogre's eyeballs. It's like two of those big, like, huge bulbs, huge incandescent bulbs that are just like woo, 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 and it's casting the shadow all over the booth. Andrea turns to Zach and says, "We shouldn't ride it, right?"
Oh, without a doubt. That's a terrible idea. It's dangerous. It's going to get us in trouble. It's going to get us hurt.
Maybe
we're
we
not
should,
kids
though.
anymore. I mean, we're gonna. I say all of that recognizing that we're going to, but I'm acknowledging that we shouldn't.
Okay, acknowledged. We shouldn't. I agree. You are correct. Let's go.
Sometimes our stories are weirder and more personal, as in Apocalypse Keys, a game about queerness and monstrosity in which inhuman secret agents battle back the apocalypse.
I only have to press the button, and all the Bellas of the world, all of them, and you can see like all the monitors turn on, and there are all these little girls all over the world that look like Bella, right? Mm-hmm. Because Division built a fail-safe. Of course they did. Against monsters like us. Against monsters wearing human skins. I only have to press the button. And she's reaching out, and you can tell she doesn't want to. What do you do?
I think back to all of the times. I think back to 1982. And I think back to a moment when it was Vex and I. Angel was up in the skies, and it was Vex and I on the ground, and There were skeletons as far as the eye can see. And there was a moment where a skeleton had... It was just before Angel was coming from the skies to rescue us, to pull us up. The skeletons, a spell had been activated. We closed the door, but the skeletons remained. They needed to be wiped out, but Division has teams for that. But one of these ghouls had latched itself onto my arm, and I couldn't get it off. And there is a moment where Vex speaks, and it is overlaid with what I say, and that is, "It'll grow back." And swirling the spear in my hand, I know that it is not Vex in control of that hand at this moment. I know that she doesn't want to push that button. And I'm going to ensure that she can't push that button. Because it'll grow back. Vex will be fine. And I am going to cut that hand off with my spear. You can find new episodes, listening guides, Spotify playlists, and more at partyofonepodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and party on, everybody!